Oh, excuse me. Hi. Hello. It says that I'm live. Today we're gonna stick. Excuse me. Now I'm feeling tired as soon as I started. Oh my gosh. Where did that come from? Today we're gonna stick with dice and dice cards. I was gonna say card dice. Let me move this mouse from the middle of the screen. It's been feeling like lit. Sun slid into Scorpio. That final degree of Libra into Scorpio yesterday was amazing. Today, business as usual because my head is hurting. It hurts like more today. And it's been going on for a hot second. Yesterday, I was just like buzzing all day. It was amazing. Um, ooh. Oh. Ooh, two cards. I've seen this one lately. We're just going to see what comes out. I grabbed a set of dice to clarify or to put on top of the cards. And I was like, oh, I hope it's the green set. It's the gray set. And if y'all have watched me, y'all know how I feel about the gray set. But all preconceptions left behind. That's the word I wanted. The gray set isn't bad. The gray set I use for the swords, I believe. Oh, these are clubs. The Joker, material intervention, the coming of spring and mastering the game of life. The day of longest light or night, a garment for all occasions, and filling a gap. Ooh. What is this? The Five of Clubs and the Red Joker. Interesting. Definitely feeling that coming of spring energy, honestly. But I guess that's what the winter solstice heralds. After winter comes spring. So there is a little, well, and then there's filling a gap, that gap in time. It's an accelerant energy, an energy of acceleration. Because the day of longest light is the summer solstice, and we had that eclipse, solar eclipse. I need to look up what this eclipse is at the end of the year. Because I thought it was a solar eclipse, but it might be a lunar one. Um, that was the first day of Cancer season. We had the sun and the moon conjunct 0 degrees Cancer, and Saturn and Jupiter are going to conjunct 0 degrees Aquarius in December, I believe. I don't know when. It might be January because I know they both move in 1719. Maybe by the end of December they conjunct. I might look it up. I might look it up. I might. What am I looking at? 1 second. I'm back. Y'all just saw that whole exchange because my door is literally right there. I wanted to put my food somewhere it wouldn't fall, and I was going to put it on the edge of the bed. And I was like, if I have to go to the restroom or get up for anything, that food is going to be on the floor. So I put it up there. Um, let's do this real quick. Let's see if Taco Bell is going to give me an Xbox. This video is not sponsored by Taco Bell. Let's see. Oh, snap. Things are moving. Why did I pull out my phone in the first place? I don't know. Yes, I need to send this text really quick. Ouch. Just to see what's up. Please. It would be so cool. I mean, part of me is like, I don't even like want it. So if someone else got it, they would probably, well, not everyone who wins one is gonna want one necessarily. But there is a part of me that's like, you know what? Give it to someone who really wants it. But you best believe I'm still gonna end it. Ah! 1 second. Some's the FV. VV. I totally could have left my mic muted for this part, but that's fine. Or just like close my laptop and be like, I'll be back in a second, guys. I didn't win. Oh, nice. That fits. Thank you for bearing with me. Excuse me. Excuse me. There it is. Even the dream space has shifted, though. The dream space, or my dream space, has shifted drastically over the course of the past few months. In some really interesting ways. And if I look at the parallels between my dream space and my reality, my waking life, it's this energy of integration, but also an energy of not needing things proven, not needing to see certain things in a certain time to know that, excuse me, things are happening and moving and changing, I guess. And do I get impatient from time to time? Yeah. You know, who doesn't? Who doesn't get impatient? And I'm like, let's move this. But back to this. I was gonna look up the equinoxes. That's what I was gonna look up. That day of longest night. I'll just say equinoxes, eclipses 2020. Here we go. Now here we go. Now here we go. Hello? Did you not search? There we go. Because I just want to see what the one in December is. So June 5, 6, we had the lunar eclipse Gemini, full moon Gemini, no, Sagittarius, full moon Sagittarius lunar eclipse. And then we had the new moon Cancer solar eclipse. And then we had the full moon Capricorn lunar eclipse July 4, 5. Yeah. So November 29th, 30th is a lunar eclipse. So that's probably full moon Gemini. And then I think my best friend's birthday is around that time. So it is a solar eclipse. It's a total solar eclipse, December 14th. And so that'll be new moon Sagittarius. So we had Sagittarius full moon lunar eclipse June 5, 6. And November 29, 30, we're going to have a Gemini full moon lunar eclipse. Both of those full moons on that axis was an eclipse. And maybe that's why the nodes are there. Maybe that's what it means when the nodes shift. Like we're going to have a lunar eclipse in that sign because the node shifted into Gemini Sagittarius like a month before that eclipse happened. Maybe not. I don't know. What is this? So yeah, there we go. It's going to be a solar eclipse on the 14th of December, lunar eclipse 29/30 of November. So that's exciting. Should we go look at it? No. But it's so that's the day of longest light or night. Oh wait, that'll be springtime in the southern hemisphere. It's already spring in the southern hemisphere. So that'll be going into their summer. Let's just roll some dice. Oh, this one stayed on the table. It's the gray set, y'all. So I'm gonna ring my bell. I've been ringing the bell a lot more lately. I do it at least once a day for the past like 3 or 4 days. I don't remember. But let's get this thing out here. Let's get this thing out here. Which one is my? I think it's this one. I've never tried to do it with my left hand because I'm not left-handed, and it sits right on the palm, right at the heart of that little energy portal gateway thingy word portal. We'll do that one at the end. That was a slow build up today. It was a slow build up. Sometimes it just like go all the way. I'm like, oh, okay. I've been loving it though. Let's see. Also, that weird dream thing happened again the other day. It stopped after I said the thing I said last time, and I was able to sleep at night. Also, I saw like Tyler Posey in one of my dreams. It was weird. In some like beachy area. Anyway, it happened again yesterday or the day before. I don't remember at all what that was about though. It kind of sort of took a while for me to remember what the other stuff was about. So I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. But let me come in here and see if, because I know lately I've added an entry into my synchronicity journal. That's why I decided to start putting all of the stuff. Because I made the journal before, but I never really used it. Oh, it's just some numbers. Ooh, that makes my head a little hurty. So let me open up my little APP to see what these DICE mean. A. When I redo this deck, I'm really gonna like put in, well, see, part of me was a little hesitant to put it in there. Because I was like, I don't necessarily want to give away like what all the things mean to me. Because I believe like if you're gonna use dice, then come up with your own correspondences, right? Because then they'll be more coded to you instead of like somebody else, aka me. But I'm definitely gonna do the Lenormand correspondences for sure, for sure. Don't need to reinvent the wheel on that one. So here's a four. Oh, number four. Okay. Well, that's just like straight up daddy energy. Another four. Okay. By daddy, I mean the emperor. Here is a three. So we have, wait. Yeah, this is the D4. Okay. So we have a three and a four. We got this two right here, this 12, and this one. So we have water, Pisces, the high priestess, the emperor, the heart, the solar plexus. And that's it. So immediately the emperor energy jumps out. So this is a heart solar plexus emperor, which is important because that maintains the element of water. And then the high priestess is here with Piscean energy, which, Pisces is a good energy to have with the high priestess because it's one of the energies that's a little closer to it because Pisces is sort of that like afterlifey type energy, that old age and beyond. This garment for all occasions, it came to my mind when I was talking about something in a reading where I used these cards and they were like spread out face down. And I was like, "Ooh, I can't even remember what it was," but I was like, "I have a feeling like the garment for all occasions card is going to come out," and it did. But then I was like, I can't even remember. Like, I don't even remember what that means or why I put that down there when I put it down. But it's like a celestial roby type of energy that sort of changes when in different situations almost. Like one of those, it's like chameleon, but it's one of those, it's like something that you wear, but it like changes. So you don't have to change clothes because the clothes change themselves to match whatever occasion it is. So that's an energy of frequency matching. And then we have the heart and the solar plexus. And I said that the heart and the solar plexus paired with that emperor energy maintains the element of water. That's it's an emperor that's not like extremely dry, right? It's not a super airy emperor or a super fiery emperor or a super earthy even emperor. It's one that maintains the element of water, and maintaining the element of water is about almost a divine connection. I'm gonna take this off because ouch! Oh, oh! I meant to wash my hair yesterday, but it didn't happen. Okay, um, it's constricting my head a little bit, and so an emperor that maintains the element of water, it's almost like this. I want to say ego control, but it's not about controlling the ego. It's a higher space of operation. It's an emperor that operates from a higher space. So this isn't an operator. This isn't an imperator. Hold on, where is Mercury? Mercury is probably like what, 9 degrees? Because it's like it may be sliding in to trine my sun and my Mars. And I was just like thinking before I came, like I was like, oh snap! When the sun is like 9 degrees Scorpio, it's gonna be grand trining. It'll try my sun and my Mars. Excited for that. Oh wait, so because I know the moon is at 8 degrees Taurus, which means the sun is going to be 8 degrees Taurus. So on Halloween, it's going to be moving in to that trine in my chart. That's me stuff. What am I looking at? I don't remember. Am I looking at the sun? I don't remember what I put my phone out for. But that's this energy here. So we have this watery emperor who is acting from a higher space of alignment. And it's almost like with this Piscean and High Priestess energy, there's this unformed space that we're coming into. And maybe that's the gap that we're feeling. There's this unformed, not unformed, there's this less formed space that we're coming into. And that Emperor energy is important because it's a space that reacts to the will of whoever is present, more or less. And so to be steady in your will is to give clear direction to this space. The water is important because then, and it's not a super watery emperor, it's just an emperor energy that has a water element that's present. And if it's an emperor, it should be any. Let's not get into semantics. And so with the high priestess and with Pisces, this high priestess is almost like a director type of energy. Almost. Because it's almost like she's the one that grants access to this space, or we work with her while we're in this space. Maybe that's the watery element of the emperor. That's the element that knows to listen. That's his connection to this high priestess energy in this lesser formed space. And that's what this Piscean energy and this watery energy is about. It's almost like, I don't know if you've ever seen Steven Universe, y'all have ever seen Steven Universe, but it's like when he goes into his room and the room gives him whatever it is that he wants, right? If he's like, I want a donut, then the room will give him a donut. But the thing about the room is that it doesn't produce anything of substance. But so, like, if you eat these imaginary donuts, it's not going to fill you up, but it can produce things that you interact with. In the show, that was the room. And so here's this emperor taking charge in this lesser foreign space. This is that a strong heart, a strong will, and an open heart type energy. That's what this is. Because it makes something less defined more defined. But it does it in a way that flows with the things around it. so as not to produce or cause any disturbances, right? What's at the bottom of the deck? Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Clubs, nearly awakened hidden power, breath that takes the shape of one's truest desires, and a commitment to self. Well, breath that takes the shape of one's truest desires is kind of sort of this energy. Well, it more or less is. Mastering the game of life is here as well. So we have mastering the game of life, filling a gap, and then this, and it's different from the magician because I feel like the magician uses tools to create. This energy is what I've been feeling like divine masculine's role in creation is. In this energy, it's more of a projection of one's will than it is using tools to create something. I don't know. Interesting. Well, I guess that's kind of sort of what. Oops. I just accidentally clicked something. I was like, I hope I didn't close it. Um, it's kind of sort of the energy that we come into when we're lesser affected by our situations and circumstances on the external in the 3D, when we can stand fast to what it is that we are willing, then it's like it drowns out almost everything else. According to the working of the space, because it still is collective, right? It's like Earth is a collective place. So even if you are isolated, there are certain things that the collective manifests that you still experience. And there are different collective experiences. But it's like since we don't exist in a vacuum, then we are still in some ways subjected to the creation of the collective or some of that. Oh, it's about flowing though. It's about FLOW. Oh, let's see. Oof. I feel like my head is feeling a little better. I don't want my food to get too cold, so this ain't gonna be too long today. Let's take a sip. It's a Baja Blast. Baja Blast is like the only Mountain Dew that I can drink, and like Code Red for some reason, without getting a headache, like a caffeine headache. I think it's like the Powerade and Baja Blast. It's like Mountain Dew and the blue Powerade, right? Okay, one more card, please. One more card, please. That's interesting, though. But I think that's sort of part of what, and it kind of reminds me, I guess, of the energy of the woman who walks in the middle of the storm, where all of the elements dance around her in seeming chaos, but in her vicinity there is peace. But that would be the Empress side of this energy, maybe. Ooh, the King of Hearts. This is a card I see a lot. With the Ten of Diamonds. Ten of Diamonds is. I looked this up the other day because I got the Eight of Diamonds and the Two of Diamonds. So I looked at the Eight of Diamonds and the 10 because 8 plus 2 is 10. The King of Hearts, I feel like I should know because I get this card all the time, but I don't. So we gonna we gonna look at a. I've been like buzzing. Yesterday was so interesting. I'm like, yes, come through. So my goal for Scorpio season, or for the end of Libra season, was to bang the gavel in my own life in as many areas as I could, so that when Scorpio came in, I didn't necessarily have like so that I wouldn't have to have these like drastic death type moments, and we can just go like right into rebirth, right? Because Scorpio can be like death and rebirth. It's like the death cycle of that transformation done. Let's go into the rebirth. And so one thing that I am consciously trying to, and I've been doing it for a minute, but be aware of as I proceed in my own day to day life, is to not fall into old things that I used to fall into. And now I feel like I have to be even more conscious of it. So Scorpio season may be disrupting some things, or disrupting some of the ways that I do things, but all for the better. King of Hearts is the house. Ten of Diamonds is the book. The house and the book. That low key gives me like Akashic Records vibes, or like a manual. King of Hearts, a decision that once made cannot be rescinded, a wise king who settles an impossible dispute, and operating in divine order. We kind of talked about that, right? Kind of, sort of. Ten of Diamonds, a blistering heat and freezing cold that lies at the heart of creation. The truth of the heart made plain in beginnings. So here we have this important decision that needs to be made, that we can only make for ourselves. A set of decisions that we can only make for ourselves. And if we choose to make a decision, excuse me, if we choose to make a decision with someone else in mind, or if we make a personal decision on someone else's behalf, that's still a decision that we're making. I don't know why it came out sounding like this. Every time I see this card, I'm like, I don't like how final this sounds. A decision that once made cannot be rescinded, but there are some things in life that don't come back around. There are some once in a lifetime opportunities, and you can get another once in a lifetime opportunity, maybe in a different area, or if you go through significant enough transformation, then it's like you have a different life. I know, I remember I went to school for like I started in August 2011 and I just left campus last year. So I was there for a minute and I did a lot of different things while I was there. And I had like different phases because I was growing and maturing as we all do. And I remember last year I was like, "Oh, in a past life I did this. In a past life I did that." I did this in a past life, and it was like things from like a year or 2 years before. But after you go through significant enough transformation, it almost begins to feel that way because we operating in divine order. We learn to operate in ways that are not even learned. We just kind of sort of begin to do it. We operate in ways that are different than how we operated before. So we'll make different choices. We'll make different decisions. We'll go about things in a different way. And even if we go about things in the same way, it may be for a different reason, with a different purpose in mind, or with a different end goal. And then here is this hot and cold energy at the heart of creation, the truth of the heart and beginnings. Now, both of these cards have cutoff numbers. So, also going to fix that when I do it again. I made like maybe between like 10 and I think it was about like 15 of these. And then I was like, wait, This is really low. These numbers are really low. They'll probably get cut off, and then they did. But I was like, I'm not going back to fix it because I'm the only person that uses this. So it ain't got to be perfect for me because I know what it's supposed to be. And if I don't already always have the files backed up, it almost feels like a continuation of the last energy as well. Because we was talking about this watery emperor, right? And there was the energy of the garment for all occasions, which was this garment that changed its appearance based on the environment or the situation that we're in. Not only its appearance, but also its properties, right? And so it went into that emperor energy in that lesser formed space. And I did say because the element of water in Pisces and the High Priestess came out, right? So I was like, this is real watery. Like there's water in this Emperor. And then the King of Hearts came out, which is like a King of Cups energy. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Diamonds down here. But there's an element of truth that needs to be present in this space as well. And it says the truth of the heart. I'll roll these and see. Well, that one came out quick. Oh, now we're dealing with air energy. So here's a 5. Here's another 5. No, this is a 6. LOL. Here's a 6. What's this? Here's the 5. Nope, this is a 1. We got a 1, a 6, an 8, which is Scorpio. So last time we had Pisces, this time we have Scorpio. Here's a 4. That's interesting. So yeah, but I already said that. This is a continuation of the last one, right? Emperor energy came up again on a different die this time. And this is 85. That one I gotta look up because I do not know that one off the top of my head. I was like, why did I open my phone? I do that almost every single time. Scorpio. The energy of Scorpio is here twice. King of Cups, Scorpio energy, fixed water. So we have the Emperor, we have Scorpio, Scorpio, the root, the third eye, and that's it, right? And air, the element of air. Is that North Node Gemini? The decision. Okay. Oh. So we have this Emperor energy. Emperor energy, like the Emperor carries a little bit more weight than a king would, right? And I just feel like it's not it's kind of sort of expressing the importance of this decision or the importance of the decisions that we're making, but it's more so about our mindset when we make these decisions. And with this double Scorpio energy, it feels like there's a need for these really, really deep things basically to have been worked through before we make these decisions. Because it feels like one Scorpio energy is bringing it to the surface, and then the other Scorpio energy is like, and it needs to be transformed. Right? Like I said, Scorpio is death and transformation, or death and rebirth. like both of those together under the umbrella of transformation, or one of the umbrellas of transformation, there's the death and the rebirth. And so that first Scorpio energy is the death. The second Scorpio energy is the rebirth. And that's the air. That's what we speak. That's what we think. Our mental plane needs to have been cleared of all of this deep, traumatic Scorpio stuff. Honestly. And that's the root in the third eye. Because if it's not cleared, we're not going to see things clearly. I feel like we're not going to recognize whatever it is when it comes into our experience. And that's the finality of this decision. Because, like I said, there are some opportunities that are once in a lifetime, some we may not get again. And that's not every opportunity, but human life is so ephemeral. I'm pretty sure that's the word I want. I love the word ephemeral. Hey Siri, define ephemeral. Or is it ephemeral?
As an adjective,
Yeah.
it means lasting for a very short time.
Yep,
Do you
ephemeral.
want to hear the remaining one?
Yes.
As a noun, it means an ephemeral plant.
An ephemeral plant. Imagine that. Oh, plants. The night gladiolus, the flower that blooms at night with the moon, the mice, and the flowers. The flower that blooms at night, the flower that we think is a dead, or that we think it's dead, or it's not growing because we're not looking at it at the right time, or we're not looking at it in the right way. We have two chakras and two scorpionic energies. The root needs to be cleansed, and the third eye needs to be cleansed. Human life is ephemeral. Tomorrow is not guaranteed or promised to anybody, right? So if we pass up on an opportunity one time, or if we make a decision to do something, if we go to a certain place that we're being like, we're feeling led not to go there, for example, but we choose to do it anyway because we have free will and free choice, we don't know what's going to happen in that situation. And I ain't saying that Scorpio season is going to do some Scorpio things to people. I'm just saying that nothing is promised, nothing is guaranteed. And I think sometimes we can use, I feel like the things that are meant for us will always find us is kind of sort of a double-edged sword. Because on one hand, it's like, whatever happened in your past does not dictate what you're capable of in your future. If it's meant for you, it will come back. But at the same time, sometimes we use that when we pass up on things that are meant for us, or when we delay things and we don't know how long it's going to be there. And I think that's the finality of this decision, or these decisions. And that came out, what, a few weeks ago, maybe, with the SKT. Was that the Court of Fire? The last one that I did, I think it was Fire, but I'm not sure. I don't even know if it was that video. But the message kept coming out like, I don't think it was that one. Whenever the message kept coming out like, there's a very important decision that you're going to be making, and it's going to have ramifications beyond what you think. And there was another one that was like, it basically said something similar. Everything is in flux, everything is in flow, everything is in motion right now. Everything is fluid. It's water and air, the two most fluid elements. The two fluid elements. I mean, what is fire? I don't know. I don't know. Fire is its own thing. It's a plasma, I guess. I don't know. Everything is in flux, everything is in motion. And it's this very things falling into place and unlocking other things as they shift and move type energy. Also, this redirection of light Because first it was like stones falling into place, like a Stonehenge, but not a Stonehenge. It was just like these things falling into place, and then something happens. But then it took me back to Zelda Wind Waker, and I've talked about this temple before. I think it's the Temple of Light when you get the mirror shield, and there are these giant mirrors, and it's all about reflecting the light to unlock certain things. And it's almost a similar energy, but if some of these mirrors are dirty, or if the shield is dirty, or if the light isn't present, it's not going to reflect the light in the way that it needs to. Or if it's not positioned in the right way, it's not going to reflect the light in the way that it needs to, and it's going to keep that third eye clouded. Light is the element that clears the third eye. But if our root is effed up, if the mirrors don't even work, then it's like there's no way, because it's not like light is, it's not, fluids are not these solid things that we can sort of bend, right? We have to create these channels, and we have to create these vessels for them to flow through if we want them to behave in a certain way. And this is at a very, very, it's almost like this an energy of reawakening in some ways. But yeah, it's like, because like I said about the emperor and that water element, it's like if we don't have the sturdiness of will, this lesser form space, it's like trying to pour water into a cup when you have no glass. It's like pouring water onto a table, expecting for it to take the shape of a cup, or expecting for it to take the shape of a bowl or a cat or whatever. If there is no vessel, the water will just spill out onto the floor. So there is this icy energy here, because ice fixes water, and we can remove ice from the vessel and water will still maintain that shape. So then that gets more into the King of Swords energy. And it's not that we're supposed to be cold and detached necessarily, but the Emperor is more than just the King of Cups. So he has to be able to integrate other elements as well. Like I said, it's not that he's like water dominant. It's not a water dominant Emperor energy. It's an Emperor energy that acknowledges the presence and power of water, as he does all the elements. I feel like a lot of times we look at Emperor energy, we forget that water is supposed to be there, because it's about more than just taking charge and doing whatever you want and going after it and getting it. It's like the water is the heart in a certain way. So as we're moving forward in our own lives, and as we're, and maybe it's just to look at our decisions in a different way. We don't necessarily have to be extremely cautious, but just be aware, right? The decisions that we make for ourselves, they have impacts and they matter. And if we want something new or something better, we're going to have to put ourselves in a position to make those choices and decisions. And we're going to have to put ourselves like, and we're actually going to have to make them. Like, there actually needs to be follow through. So that's what I got. I'm going to leave the dice alone, but I will get a final card from the Diceology deck. I do not like doing thumbnails. So I was just like, oh, I'll just hold the card up. Because I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I should probably just create a bunch of generic thumbnails, or like one generic thumbnail, and use that. Okay. All right, all right, all right. So let's see what this is about, shall we? Let's get cracking. Let's crack on. Sorry. I've been watching a lot of the Graham Norton show clips on YouTube and a lot of the Wired autocomplete interviews, and the Irish accent to me, low key, is one of my favorites right now. What is this? I'm not going to take this, but I'm interested. The Six of Clubs. A shift in the wind, a leaf caught in an eddy, and the birth of a new language. Oh, well, speaking of languages, I remember there was this video I saw a long time ago of this. I think she was Irish. There we go. Of this Irish girl, and she was like, "It's not Gaelic, it's Gaelga." And so now, whenever whenever I see like Gaelic, she just pops into my mind, and I'm like, "Wow, way to make me whatever." Adaptive materialization, a murky mind or will, and clouded vision. Four of Hearts. We don't want that energy. It's all backwards. That's fine. 47, 12, 3, 2, 6, and 3. A murky mind or will. Literally the opposite of a strong will and an open heart energy that I talked about. And it clouds the vision. That's that third eye it's incapable of seeing because of such heavy trauma and because of such heavy baggage that this year has been giving us opportunities to clear up. And it's not easy. It's never easy. It's not supposed to be, or at least no one. It's not like people are saying it's going to be easy, but it does actually need to be done if we wish to move forward. And the card that came out is the Three of Spades, and we've seen this one lately. A complete no. Oh wait, yeah, we have. But this is the last one I saw was a complete set of instructions, I believe. A complete restructuring of home, the house, the Ten of Pentacles. She came out. We saw her. Okay. Or was that the King of Hearts? The King of Hearts was the home. The Ten of Pentacles was the book. The Ten of Diamonds is the book. Well, that was the house. Here's the home. Here's the restructuring. We are restructuring this murky mind or will clouded vision energy, and we are clearing it up. We're given the opportunity to. We can do it if we want to or not. A complete restructuring of home, a breathtaking sight that redefines beauty and allowing one's soul to breathe and to not be so suffocated. So that's what I got. Probably super random. That's what this channel is for. I ain't gotta explain nothing. I just say it. And then it's interpret as you will type of energy. I hope y'all have a good whatever whenever you see this, and I hope you're acting in alignment to make the best possible case scenario your reality, because we're kind of sort of coming into that energy. But if we don't do it, we don't do it. If you don't show up, you don't get it. If you don't order it, it doesn't arrive at your doorstep. You know? Emperor Energy says it's time to put on your big person undergarments. Speaking of garments for all occasions, put on your mature person undergarments, and hard work pays off. The more you cry tears of sorrow and woe in the beginning, the more tears of joy you get to cry later after you free yourself from those, right? So that's what I got. Like I said, I hope you have a good whatever, whenever, and I'll catch y'all later.